political influential figure Thaksin will face the verdict of an inquiry into his imprisonment handled by the Correction Department. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra chaired meetings to discuss developments in northern Thailand after falling ill. And nearly fatal accident occurred in Rama road as a cement block fell from the elevated motorway. You're watching Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Frank Kanshi.
And I'm Nabunat, and we'll begin the program tonight with the latest in Thai politics, especially on the case related to former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra's imprisonment on the 14th floor of the Police General Hospital, which remains under public scrutiny. And so far, the Supreme Court is set to rule the case tomorrow. And the Supreme Court is due to deliver a ruling on Wednesday in response to a petition by a former Democrat MP for an inquiry into the Corrections Department's handling of the imprisonment of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. The former Democrat MP Thai Isarasena Naitya claims that the department's decision to allow Thaksin to receive medical treatment at the Police General Hospital for 6 months without spending a day in prison was a violation of the Criminal Procedure Code. He is demanding that the court order Thaksin to be returned to prison to serve his one-year term. Thaksin was sentenced to 8 years in prison by the Supreme Court's Criminal Division for holders of political office. The term was reduced to 1 year by a royal commutation, but he spent 6 months in the Police General Hospital and was released on parole in February last year. This is actually the second time that the former MP has tried to persuade the Supreme Court to overturn the Corrections Department's decision to keep Thaksin out of a cell and have him sent back to prison. And on February 15 last year, the Supreme Court dismissed his petition on the grounds that Thaksin's case concluded when the court issued an order for his imprisonment. The enforcement of the court's order and the decision to allow Thaksin to receive medical treatment outside prison were within the authority of the Corrections Department, and this is according to the court's ruling. And the court also ruled that it is beyond its jurisdiction to rule on whether the Corrections Department's handling of Thaksin's imprisonment was legal. And separately, last year, the Supreme Court also dismissed a complaint against the Justice Minister, the Corrections Department, and also the Bangkok Remand Prison for helping Thaksin to spend 6 months in hospital instead of in prison. And during that time, the Medical Council also launched a probe into the professional conduct of the doctors involved in the treatment of Thaksin Shinawatra at the hospital. But earlier this month, it has been announced that the case is postponed indefinitely. So the probe by the Medical Council has already been postponed indefinitely, but the court ruling will take place this Wednesday.
Yes, of course, it's just tomorrow. So I think this political story will draw a lot of attention about Thaksin's future because, of course, as what you said, this story already caused a lot of criticism and questions, no matter from the opposition side, from People's Party, or from NGO on the ground. They want to know why Thaksin would get so much privilege, according, of course, to the opposition, that Thaksin should face the legal term very soon. And tomorrow we will see, of course, this story, how it goes and how the criticism will go.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
And this is actually one of the main topics that the opposition has been using against Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra during the recent censure debate as well. But then tomorrow might be the answer as to how this case will be dealt.
Right, and let's move on to Thaksin's daughter, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra. You may have seen photos of Paetongtarn falling ill during a meeting in Nakhon Pathom province yesterday, and this is the update. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, who was on an official visit to Nakhon Pathom province yesterday, said she was still suffering from fatigue and a high fever, which forced her to cancel some of her scheduled activities in the afternoon. She appeared pale while being briefed about cross-border drug problems along the Mekong River. A nurse accompanying her noticed her condition and provided her with some medication, electrolyte, and a herbal inhaler. As her condition did not appear to improve, medical staff on site checked her pulse and blood pressure and administered preliminary medical care. As what you see on the screen right now, she then assigned Deputy Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai to chair the meeting on her behalf and departed. She was seen walking, but with support from her staff. When asked by reporters, she said she felt better, but that the fever had returned. The Prime Minister was admitted to a hospital last Thursday after a 2-day visit to Phnom Penh due to a high fever and was discharged the following day. Today, Prime Minister Paetongtarn chaired the second mobile cabinet meeting of the year held at Nakhon Pathom University. The agenda includes several important issues with the cabinet set to consider urgent development projects and private sector proposals for the Upper Northeastern Provincial Cluster Second, which includes Sakon, Nakhon Pathom, and Muthahan. The government is expected to approve a mid-year 2025 budget allocation of 400 million baht to support these initiatives. The urgent development projects and private sector proposals for the 3 provinces have already been approved by the Joint Public-Private Sector Committee on Economic Solutions for the provincial cluster. A total of 9 projects are included. So, of course, we've seen the Prime Minister Paetongtarn fell ill since she came back from Phnom Penh, and I think it's because of the environmental change and maybe some just the weather change for her to face these healthy issues, healthy conditions.
Exactly, but we also have to clarify that one of the photos that we have just shown you recently where Prime Minister Paetongtarn was seen like this, she was not actually fainting. She was actually breathing an inhaler. So some people may have thought that she had fainted during the meeting, but we have to tell you that she was actually breathing an inhaler like this.
Yeah, because if she did it in public, maybe there might be another criticism coming up.
Exactly, but before it has become an internet meme, we may have to tell you that first. But then today she seemed to have recovered from the illness when she gave an interview with the reporters. Okay, that shot you're seeing right here, she was actually breathing an inhaler. She was not fainting during the meeting. But then today she has slightly recovered from her illness when she gave an interview with reporters today regarding the mobile cabinet meeting. And she even took this opportunity to deny rumors about cabinet reshuffles, which people have been speculating for a few weeks now. But you can still see that she still has this fatigue going on. Yeah,
and the power struggle in political sphere too. For example, of course, some political analysts still challenge Paetongtarn Shinawatra about the relations between Pheu Thai Party and Phumjai Thai Party there.
Exactly.
But right now, reshuffle is not confirmed yet, so we will see that go ongoing in the future. And this might be a nightmare for motorists again, for those who use the road of Rama 2, because a motorist was injured when a cement block fell from the Rama 2 elevated expressway today from the construction site on top onto his pickup truck. The driver, whose identity was not disclosed, said that he was driving in the outbound lane of Rama 2 Road towards Samut Sakhon when a large cement block suddenly landed on the windscreen of his vehicle. He sustained cuts under his chin and was rushed to a hospital in Samut Sakhon. Debris falling from the elevated expressway construction site has been blamed for numerous accidents involving motorists and passengers traveling on Rama 2 Road below. According to the Department of Highways, more than 2,500 accidents occurred on Rama 2 Road between 2018 and March 15th this year, resulting in 143 deaths and more than 1,400 injuries. On March 15th, 5 people were killed and 22 injured when a concrete beam from a bridge under construction near the Rama 2 Road in the district of Chomthon collapsed. The expressway project is being undertaken by a joint venture between Italian Thai development and one Thai construction company there. So, of course, we still remember that giant collapse in March. And right now, another incident
this actually proves that Rama 2 road is one of the most dangerous roads for motorists, especially if you're traveling to other provinces in the south. And with the recent statistics that you just mentioned here, Frank, it actually proves the point that this is the road that you should avoid. And even though there is going to be more traffic using other roads, but then
what can we do at this moment? Because this is the main road to Hua Hin province, to southern part of Thailand. And so many people use that road per day. And I think this is the question on of course, the quality of construction. And this long-lasting construction, why wouldn't that finish in a short time?
But if this is completely inevitable, if you still need to use Rama 2 road to go to Hua Hin or to other provinces down south, use extreme caution. And now let's move on to this story, which has caught public attention recently. The lèse-majesté charge against an American lecturer at a Pisanulong University has attracted a lot of attention recently, with the House Committee on the Military now seeking an explanation from the Army. Paul Chambers was arrested earlier this month after surrendering to face charges of allegedly violating the country's lèse-majesté and computer crime laws. The Internal Security Operations Command Region 3 filed complaints against Paul Chambers in a Pisanulong court, alleging that he committed the offenses on a website. However, Paul Chambers has denied the charges. Wirod Lakhanadison, who's a People's Party MP and the chairperson of the House Committee, said that the Army spokesman will be invited to provide information about the charges to the committee on May 8th. Pisanulong police investigator and representatives from the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok will also be invited. Chambers' case gained attention when the U.S. Department of State issued a statement saying that it was alarmed by Thailand's arrest of Chambers. The department's spokesperson, Tammy Bruce, said that we are closely monitoring the situation, adding that the department takes its responsibility to assist U.S. citizens abroad seriously. Paul Chambers was initially denied bail, but it was later granted on the condition that he does not leave Thailand. The case has recently been linked to Thailand's desperate bid to negotiate with the U.S. over a new tariff. It is claimed that the U.S. may weigh the Chambers case in the negotiations. But when asked to comment on any linkage, former Prime Minister Thaksin, who claimed to have close ties with U.S. President Donald Trump, said it was possible. And today, Deputy Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai claimed that the U.S. would not link the Chambers case to the negotiations, believing that the matters are unrelated, adding that we are now negotiating with the U.S. on the tariff matter, while the legal action against Paul Chambers is proceeding cautiously and according to our laws. And the Army spokesman said in a press briefing on Monday that the Army sought legal action against Chambers after receiving complaints from citizens. He also dismissed claims that the ISOC has no authority to initiate legal action against Chambers. So this is the latest on the Paul Chambers case, which caught attention recently as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen that the outcome or way out for this case yet. And as what you said, there's some disparity already in Thai party because, for example, the former Prime Minister Thaksin already said that it was possible to link this case with the negotiation about the U.S. tariff. But Deputy Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai said that U.S. wouldn't link it. So actually, this is quite interesting to see because, of course, I think the opposition party, they already say that this case will really weigh on the negotiation process here. And I just finished one interview with the EU Parliament trade chief there. He just said that, of course, the EU FTA with Thailand could hasten in a way, but the political development and democratic development are the keys to really pushing forward the FTA process.
And it looks like many Western economies place much importance on the political stability and democracy of the other countries that they are doing these trade deals with, because it actually affects a lot of things when it comes to trade and doing business.
Yes, and that might loom over the FTA negotiations and, of course, U.S. tariff there. Another topic that we have to talk about is actually, of course, Thailand aims to attract like 40 million tourists this year, but China has another initiative and strategy to return 13% VAT tax to foreign tourists. So Thailand may face challenges this year. Ministry of Tourism and Sport has expressed concern over the decline in the number of Chinese tourists visiting Thailand. The ministry warned that the tourism industry remains one of the final engines driving foreign income into the country. Beyond the falling numbers seen in the first quarter, and Thailand struggled to compete with destinations such as Japan and Vietnam, China itself is taking steps to stimulate both domestic and international tourism. Currently, foreign visitors to Thailand are entitled to a value-added tax refund of 13% on shopping, with a refund process that has been streamlined to be quick, easy, and convenient. This initiative is designed to encourage tourists to spend more on shopping, dining, and travel within China. The Association of Thai Travel Agents has warned that if the Thai government does not respond swiftly to this, the country risks losing its competitive edge. The association has also suggested that Thailand should introduce a similar policy, arguing that offering immediate VAT refunds at key tourist sites would likely boost visitor spending and increase the average spend per head. Since the beginning of 2025, China has pursued a more aggressive tourism policy aimed at attracting both domestic and international travelers. As for other countries, Japan, which is currently a top destination for Chinese tourists, has long operated a tax-free shopping system. Although Tokyo plans to shift towards a tax refund model in 2026, tax-free spending has already seen a remarkable recovery. So, of course, I think China, Vietnam, Japan, they are trying to get more and more tourists, foreign tourists, to their countries. And of course, right now, Thailand is fighting with its neighbors and trying to get more foreign tourists. But at this moment, for example, actually, I went to Yaowarat last weekend, and I didn't see a lot of Chinese tourists there.
Well, this simply shows that the number of Chinese tourists here in Thailand has seen a significant drop. And since the beginning of the year, even though the Tourism Authority of Thailand and government agencies have been trying to reach its target of at least 40 million tourists this year and a significant number of Chinese tourists, but they have been dealing with several challenges. Earlier this year, they have dealt with the case of Wangxing and also recently with the earthquake in Myanmar that many areas of Thailand have also felt the tremors. And you can see that the number of Chinese tourists have been declining over the past few months. And now with the 30% value-added tax, this is going to be a very, very difficult challenge for Thailand to regain that trust from Chinese tourists to come to Thailand. So this is going to be a tough one.
And on top of that, of course, is the global uncertainties too. U.S. tariff, geopolitical issues here. And I think, of course, Chinese government that right now they want to keep their citizens just in China to travel to boost that domestic consumption too. So what should Thailand do? Ask TAT.
Well, this will actually depend on the TAT, how they will regain that trust from Chinese tourists, but also tourists from other countries as well, just to ensure that Thailand is safe and is also tourist friendly.
Right.
All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, ThaiPBSWorld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ